'Cause you're a believer, a dreamer, a stone cold, do or die survivor, taking it higher, driven by fire.
All right, I want to say hello to all of our fellow Cleviators. This is the first in a series of different interviews that we're going to start bringing to you at least every other week, a couple times a month, maybe even weekly, we'll see. And I think it's really important that we do a lot to provide you in the field as distributors, partners with CleverRx, and particularly with this Cadmus strategy silo, a fantastic opportunity to hear from those who are doing it well, doing a lot of it well, and let's learn from their success, the blueprint that will get you going where it's really important to go. And so I couldn't think of a better guy to bring in for our first session today than Dale Bohm, and for several reasons. A number of you watching this have an insurance license, and with an insurance license right now comes particularly a health insurance license, comes the dreaded time of open enrollment, where from as soon as the sun rises till it sets and then some, even into the hours of the evening, you find yourself consumed with helping individuals and businesses. And so I put together a handful of questions that I wanted to specifically ask of Dale Bohm. Dale, it's great to have you with us today. How are things in Michigan where you're at?
Well, thanks for having me. I mean, it's northern Michigan and we had snow over the weekend, so.
Yeah, we were talking earlier and I told him I'm here in Arizona and I was complaining because the high today was going to be 65, and he gave me a verbal tongue lashing, as I should get. I'm very happy that it's 65 and there's no snow. But listen, let's dive right in. I've told people we want to keep these things short and to the point so that we can pack a lot in a little, because I know you're all busy. So let me just start here. I've got some questions I want to ask. And as we get started, I think the biggest question that comes to mind, Dale, hands down, is the question of open enrollment being so busy. How could I possibly dovetail in the element of CleverRx and still get through open enrollment? And before you answer, let me just say this guy, the last couple months, has been responsible for almost 65% of the utilization through the Cadmus strategy. He's got literally hundreds of installs and dozens of stories, saving hundreds and hundreds of dollars on prescriptions. So I think that's a great place to start. Answer how you've managed to balance them, weave them in, and make it a win for you.
I think the big thing that we find is a lot of our seniors that we're meeting with, or even our groups, is we have to look at their medications anyways. Whether they be on a supplemental plan or a Medicare Advantage plan, they're coming in with lists of meds. We take the extra little bit of time, trying to find, a great plan for them to begin with, but then also looking at the fact of, can they buy those meds even lesser expensive even yet? And that's where, we've already got the apps downloaded on our phones, myself and, the partners in the business and the other agents that we work with, is we've already got the app on our phone. So we're pulling up those meds in advance, or even while they're sitting there, and making sure that, hey, if it's $20 on their copay card or their regular health coverage, hey, we can get it for $8 or $10 or $12, elsewhere. Why wouldn't they want to shop elsewhere to save and put more money in their pocket?
Well, I think that's a good point. And maybe after we're done with this interview today, I would love for you to maybe put out on the CleverRx channel some of these popular meds that you're seeing a lot with seniors, because it kind of leads to my next question. We've got a good percentage of our distributors, Dale, who they don't have a health insurance license. They don't play in this space, and they're starting to have some success. Yet for them to be able to have a keen eye of some of these things, I think that's equally as important. So when you think about someone without a healthcare license, what are the 2 to 3 common objections that somebody might put in front of you? And as we've seen so far, there really is no objection, but there are thoughts or ideas that come to people's heads because they're uninformed. Tell us the top 2 or 3 you continually hear, and let our distributors and partners know how they rebut that. What would you say to that?
I think the big thing that we find is well, it's too good to be true. It's free. Yeah, it's free. And the other big thing is we get is hey, I've been using GoodRx. or, why would I want to do this for my clients, or why would I want to do this for my group? We already have medical insurance. And really what it comes down to is when ACA came into the market 5 to 6 years ago is, we have to medically manage what we're doing, whether it be an individual person on the marketplace or one of our groups, whether it be a small group or a large group. My greatest experience is my personal experience. And, when it was brought to me that, we could go out there and show something to someone to save them money, I thought it was too good to be true too. And then I started running my meds on it. And when I found out personally that, hey, I could buy my 90-day supply, through Express Scripts, and it cost me $120 versus I could go get it at my local Myers for $37. It's $80 in my pocket. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether it's $5 or $500. I got to look at the ultimate dollar that I'm putting either back in my pocket or my client's pockets.
Huge deal. And I'm glad to hear you say that, because I think one of the things I've heard, I was talking to one of our partners in Hawaii, and he got one of his friends who's a partner to say, why don't you just use it yourself? And he said, I never even thought of that, right? And I'm hearing more and more partners are so focused on everybody else, they forget that. But I'm starting to hear more and more stories about people literally just picking up the app, kind of going through it and saying, oh my gosh, I heard a story today with a guy in Texas, his medicine for cholesterol management. It was like for $28 and it went down to $9. And sometimes the savings aren't dramatic, but many times they are. And that leads me to this next question. I remember this happened when I talked to my mom. I said, Mom, how much do you pay for your prescriptions each year? And she says, not much, son, because I've got this Medicare, Medicaid kind of thing, and I got this little special something, and I really don't pay much, which was amazing to me because she has like 19 different prescriptions, which is a challenge in and of itself. But a lot of people get the idea that you're not going to get much traction with these people in Medicare and Medicaid. But that's not the truth at all, is it? There's a lot of people we can help using who use Medicare and Medicaid. Talk about that a little bit.
I think the big thing that we find is it's seeing the spouse. We see the women more get excited about saving money because, they're the ones who are handling the budgets, things like that. In a lot of our communities that, are fixed income, they're living on Social Security alone. You don't see many people out there anymore that have pension plans. I mean, they're living on a month-to-month basis. And, I had a little 91-year-old lady come in the other day and said, I'm spreading my meds out. And I'm like, what do you mean spreading your meds out? Well, that 30 days usually lasts me 45 to 50 days. And I'm like, so you're not taking it the way the doctor said? And she's like, nope. And I'm like, so if I could reduce your drug costs and make you so you could take it every 30 days, would you? And she's like, yeah. So we ran her meds. We did put her in a Medicare Advantage plan. And then, a couple of her meds, we actually could buy cheaper. Yes, we always recommend you use your mail order. Some of those meds, some of the generics are $0. No, I can't beat $0. But, a lot of our clients and, our big thing is the one flyer that we get right from you guys, that donut hole one. Mm-hmm. I can tell you right now, we have clients that are buying their meds with Clever RX to keep themselves out of the donut hole longer.
Well, as long as we're on that subject, I know it was coming a little later, but for a person in the industry, they understand donut hole. It makes total sense. But just in as simple as form as you can, explain to our partners and distributors what the challenges of the donut hole and how you've literally saved not hundreds, but thousands of dollars for people already in this space.
I think the big thing is whether you're on a Medicare Advantage plan or a straight drug plan is, a straight drug plan, has a $445 deductible this year. Some of them do. And then, some of the Medicare Advantage plans, may have, $50 to $200 deductible. Those are usually tier 3 through tier 5. But really what we look at is the donut hole is retail dollars. So even if they're paying $0 and getting it through mail order, well, if that drug is retailed at $800, those are the dollars that go towards that $4,130. Once you pay retail, that $4,130, you then fall into that magical black donut hole, and you end up getting stuck paid 25% of those meds up until you meet that next $6,550, and then you come out and you get catastrophic coverage and it reduces in costs. Well, especially our clients that are on insulin and stuff like that, if they don't have the insulin carry through on some of the plans this year, they could get hit with tens of thousands of dollars. I got a couple clients that hit the donut hole February, March. If you can keep them out of that donut hole 3, 4, 6 months longer. I got one gentleman we met with the other day. I can keep them out of the donut hole till August now, and it's going to save them probably $3,000 to $5,000.
That is fantastic. And I think it kind of speaks to the whole problem that is the smoke and mirrors, right? Like, it's why with one plan it costs this and the other plan it costs that, and one pharmacy this and the other that. And it gets downright confusing and intimidating, almost a defeatism attitude. You just say, all right, let me just get it, because they exhaust you with the challenges just to get the medicine. Is that a fair statement?
Yep. At the end of the day, with a lot of our seniors, it's about the money that's coming out of their pocket. Yep. I mean, whether it be on their prescription drug plan that they're paying for, or if it be through the Clever RX app, if it's $10 either way, let me show you a reason why to buy it with the Clever RX app versus buying it with your medication card, or your even group plan. And that's what we get quite a bit with even our groups is, if you're on an HSA plan and you're on maintenance meds, well, you're going to pay that higher dollar cost until you meet your deductible. Well, okay, I'm in a maintenance med. If I can buy it with the Clever RX app for $10, $10 is $10.
Yeah, for sure. One other thing, as long as we're talking about seniors, there's a lot of people in the distribution force who they show them the app and they're like, I think it's as much in the distribution force's head as it is maybe even more than seniors, where they're like, well, older people don't use apps. We need to have cards. Now, of course, we have great cards and they can be Coke branded, and that's a topic for another day. But I'm hearing you tell me that you got a bunch of seniors playing with this like it's a toy. They actually like the app. Is that right?
Yeah. I had a little old lady in with her husband the other day. I sat there, downloaded the app for her, and she's like, honey, look at this. I can buy this for $4 and I was paying $10 for it the other day. Yes, we do realize that, some of our seniors are not technology adequate in, the devices that they have. And I still see flip phones and stuff like that. 75 to 80% of our clients out there are technology savvy, and we do have some of those ones that still are not, but if
more than we would think, right?
Yeah. Even if we can advance, help them run their meds, the big thing that we tell a lot of our clients is that's the one important thing about having us as an agent versus getting those 800 calls that they get, or, somebody trying to sell them something, is we're here on a regular basis. Call us,
let us help you.
We have an office manager here. They can call in, hey, my office manager is my wife, but, they can call into our office. And
she manages more than the office, doesn't she?
Yeah,
oh, that's great.
They could call in with a med and say, hey, I got this med. Where can I get it the cheapest price? I've got the Clever RX card. Yes, they call my wife on a regular basis. But, when it comes down to it is if I can send them to Myers and it costs them $9 versus if they go to Walgreens and it's going to cost them $30, it's worth the drive to have them save those dollars.
That's exactly right. So just a couple last questions, because we're coming up on 10 minutes now and you're doing fantastic. This is great information. I think that the folks at Clever at Corporate have done a pretty good job with some marketing materials. But as you know, part of what makes this so exciting is we're working with a cutting edge company in Cadmus Strategies that's just given us a great social media toolbox. They're all the time listening to you in the field saying, how can we change things? But in my book, man, you get like the extra mile award. Like, you've gone well above and beyond with your own idea of what creativity and marketing could look like. Everything from the unpredictable when somebody's sitting down and eating, to what you're wearing, to where people may be reading or things they're eating. Talk about some of the really cool things quickly that you have done to help create exposure.
Big thing is about brand awareness. We've done placemats. When you're sitting there at the restaurant, we've ordered through your guys' company to get sweatshirts and t-shirts. We're working on getting, some nice polo shirts with embroidery and stuff like that. It's about brand awareness. And, we've made some flyers of our own. We have other, cards that we're working on with you guys, things along those lines. It's about getting that brand awareness out there. Not only that, but having the story to go with it. And I think really the big thing is we made up a flyer of our own, with, Express Scripts on the top of what that med would look like. And then, what an actual pay receipt looks like from Myers. It's about that true story. It's not just, hey, we want you to download this app because it's the greatest thing in the world. It's reality. And that's what a lot of our clients look at, whether it be an individual person or a group that we're going out after. It's the reality. It's the dollars in your pocket at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's great. And for those of you listening, if you haven't used it personally yet, if you haven't had success yet with somebody else using it, trust me, it's coming. Every month, utilization goes up. Every month, the amount of savings go up. The claims are going up. The things you're hearing today from Dale, I think will help you and encourage you. Dale, before I go to our last question, because we talk at least 2-3 times a week, and every single time we talk, you're blowing my mind away. Give our viewers just a few of the prescription price differentials you've seen on some amazing savings for people.
My own personal experience, I'm saving $80 a quarter on one of my meds. Keeping people out of the donut hole. We have another lady that was diagnosed with cancer, throat cancer. She had to get a liquid that normally through her regular health insurance was going to be $200 per bottle. She bought.
And that's for 3 months, right? So 600 total.
No, she goes through 3 bottles a month.
Oh my gosh! So 600 a month. Wow. Yeah.
So she was able to actually get all 3 bottles of this liquid for $10.51 at the local Walgreens.
That's $590 a month in savings. That's $6,000 a year.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
I got
that's fantastic.
I got a rep from Skyreezy that I know. I had texted her to the app, and she gives me a call back, and she says, "Yeah, my son, his acne med was going to be $120. I looked it up on GoodRx, and GoodRx was going to cost me $57. I looked it up on your app that you sent me, and it only cost me $22."
Booyah! That is great.
I think at the end of the day, like we tell most people is it's about download, share, usage. And that's really what it comes down to is no, I can say that CleverRx is not going to be GoodRx 100% of the time. But I can tell you on a lot of the meds that we've ran, and there's a couple other companies out there that have been advertising on TV, and I keep hearing about them and stuff like that, is hands down, you guys got rid of that pharmacy benefit manager. And I can tell you, with the 55,000 meds that are out there, 9 out of 10 times,
we got a chance.
We got a chance.
That's fantastic. All right, as we wrap things up today, you've been a great guest, a true Cleviator, as we say around here. What would be the last couple things you would just tell everybody? Some people sitting on the sidelines, some people maybe getting a little limiting belief or excuse-itis because they're so busy or they got a few no's early. Last parting words to all of our distributors and partners so that they can win like you're winning.
I think download, share, and usage.
Simple.
It's that simple. And it's funny because we got a doctor's office we're talking to right now, and he's real skeptical that, is it really that good to be true, blah, blah, blah. What it comes down to is I said, you don't take any meds. And mind you, this guy's really healthy. Nope, I don't. I said, I bet you your mom does. Well, yeah, she's in Idaho. And I said, okay, so do you have her in your cell phone? Yep. So I said, okay, give me your cell number. So I typed it in, I clicked, shared it with him. I said, okay, send it to her. And then in 5 minutes, what you do is you call her up and say, Mom, download this app and type your meds in and put them in the file cabinet. I said, if she never uses it, she's got all her meds right there on her phone. But what I can tell you is probably, depending on how many meds she's taking, I bet you if she's taking 6, 1 or 2, I can beat the price and save her some money.
And that's a great thing.
He called me back 2 days later and he said, yeah, my mom went down to the local pharmacy and she saved $30 today.
Bingo.
Mom and dad take them, and we always look at those averages. Unfortunately our seniors take 6 to 12 meds. It's a lot. Mm-hmm. But if we can save them $20 a month, well, that $20 a month, they're not splitting meds and they're buying a gallon of milk. And I have one little old lady that, we're saving $400 or $500 this year. And she's like, hey, me and my husband are going to go here or there. Well, guess what? Great.
Gotta love it. Love working with you, Dale. Thanks for taking some time out of your busy schedule to make a contribution to everybody here in the Cadmus family with Clever. Go out, knock it out of the park. I'm sure we'll talk again this week. And for all of you, we'll get this posted usually a day within the time it comes out. But you can expect once you're seeing this to about once every 2 weeks, we'll be featuring somebody who's doing great work, just like Dale. Big air high five. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, brother.
Thanks, Steve.